Hello. Hi, everyone. So, today we're going to be following on a model that we have been working in the past few streams. So, yeah, let's get to work. First, I would like to explain how do I get the minimal interface that you saw me using before. So basically, what I like to do is when I'm using Modeler is working full screen. So the first thing that I do is tear off a pane copy. We want to have the notes available even if we are not going to use it in case something goes wrong, there is a bug, we need to refresh something, or we want to use some procedural methods. So normally I tear off a panel and put it into the other monitor, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Some other times, what I do is, well, what I could also do, especially for the stream, for the people looking at only this screen, I just hide it like this. So the other thing that I do is that I bring up the parameters, and then every time I select a node, I will get the parameters for that node. So I make sure it's always on top. In Linux, I use this option, but in Windows, I believe these sort of panels are always on top anyway. If not, there is a couple of tools that one could use just to make sure. Okay, so this is basically the setup, minus one last step, which is to make everything really minimal, like this. We say toggle stowards, and then we get into a really minimal interface. And I like to work like that. Uh, so yeah, sometimes if we get stuck, let's say on a node or a parameter, what I do is I just toggle on and off the pin, and you will probably see me do that. So yeah. So for today, what I would like to do is maybe focus only on the head, and if we don't get if we don't get if we get nowhere, maybe focus on another place on the model. So yeah, let me first, maybe because I am noticing that the hand is he's making a fist, but let's say for the string, I don't want the robot to do that. So the setup for I don't know if you can see, but the hand is pretty much complete. At least the hand and the fingers for the first version is pretty much complete, and it's also rigged. Although the rig is not complete. In the future, I would like to get into how I got everything working here. It's a really neat setup, but for now, these streams are only about modeling. Um, yeah, maybe that position it's a bit awkward. So maybe we can do this, I believe. And let me just tease you guys a little bit and do this so it looks a little bit more natural. I want to improve that setup, obviously. But for now, I didn't want to push the rigging too hard without having the whole model complete because I really want to have my robot. Uh, so yeah. So let's toggle the stowards, and yeah. So I have been working behind the scenes on setting up OBS, and one of the things that I noticed is that I kept referring to um, the reference board that I use in PureRef, but it was hard to show it to you guys because Um, it was hard to show it to you guys because I had it snap on the other screen, but now I can just. Hello, 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 hello. You see, I think the audio is not getting recorded. Testing the microphone. Testing the microphone. Okay, so I just checked my own stream, and it seems like it's working now. So I don't know what happened, but okay. So what I like, let me try to set up the symmetry instance. Okay, now we're working. If I do this, okay, we can see what's up. Um, okay, this should be enough for now. Enough setup. So right now, let's get to work on the. Let me see why if I do this, I cannot. Bunch of steps, I know, but see what's happening here. Hmm. Okay, I think I know what's happening. Sadly, I don't think we're not gonna be able to have both sides showing. And okay, just bring up the notes again. There is one thing that I can do, and that is to choose to only have visible the head. It's weird, weird. Okay. I almost never use this symmetry like this, so I think it shows. Right now, what I'm trying to figure out is why I cannot select the head, but seems like it's not available to me. If I look for an instance, no. What if I delete the head for now? Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Okay, now we have the other side, but we can work with that. If I symmetrize, then delete the other side, then isolate and hide everything else. Okay, we're back. So yeah, I think that maybe we can work for now with half the head. So I'm gonna be working here on the main block out, see what's up from there. So let's minimize everything and get focus on this. Okay. I don't know why I'm so nervous today. Maybe after pushing some polygons, it's gonna get better. So one tool that I wanna practice today, maybe once I get warmed up, is the tweak tool. Actually, Alexei, the developer of the plugin, mentioned to me that why I wasn't using it. And I was like, okay, that's a really good question. So basically, what the tweak tool does, it allows you to move polygons in a really intuitive way. The only problem is that I have gotten so used to just select and push polygons and do simple operations that it's hard to get into the habit of using uh, the more fancy tools. But yeah, I definitely need to start using it. So basically, a tweak tool is here, and by default, it's a different shortcut. But if I press, normally, let's say for me, it's A. So if I press A and then use one of the buttons of the mouse, if I use the left button, I can move the geometry in screen space. And if I use the second button, I can move the geometry in only two axes. So yeah, maybe I can conform this row of polygons to the same width. Now we'll do something like this. Now we can move these guys over here. That's weird. I should be snapping right now. See, maybe we can just skip that. There are some tools that are aware of symmetry. So when I move, I can get the geometry moving in both sides, but it's not a guarantee. There are some caveats to that workflow. And because I have tried it, and sometimes you make some operation and it doesn't translate to the other side. I believe, yeah, only the transform tools work like that. But yeah, if you're only pushing, let's say, moving the polygons, it's really useful. For everything else, you can work with what Alexei call, and this is what gave us some errors before, the sub D, well, not sub D instance, but the symmetry instance. Now it looks like this. The only problem is that since we have plenty of objects now, we can see everything. But yeah. So right now it looks like a dinosaur. So maybe we can refine the silhouette a little bit more. I keep making mistakes. Let me see. Okay. Let's flatten this section. I'm thinking on how to push this section in. And there's this tool called Extrude Pro. Maybe that can help us, which is like some sort of extrude combined with a boolean. So maybe I can do something like this. Okay, that definitely did something. Now we can throw another loop here. And now we can just fill in the gaps, or I should say holes. So you can see I use the pen tool a lot. It's really useful. I mean, you can basically do everything with the pen tool if you try hard enough. But so maybe it's time to start bringing other shapes into the mix. Let's just delete the history and select a face and then throw a Q-tube here. Let me check up the notes a second to see what's. Oh yeah, yeah, I know what's happening. We're creating the primitive inside the node, but it's in this case is better if we do it outside of it. So let's make a selection, and when I press Q-tube, basically Modeler what it's doing is creating a new primitive alongside the rest of the meshes. Then if we want to have this primitive inside, what we can do is we select both objects and we can then do a combined selection. But for now, we can have both shapes and it's easier to control like this. Now, if I combine these two, I think that what is going to happen is that we're going to see it in the other side. So let's see if it works like that. Yeah. And if we take a look at the nodes, we can see that we have the primitive that we did and Modeler just combined both shapes. So I'm trying to loosely follow the reference, not not use it as a base completely. And normally I only model stuff. I don't design stuff, much less the two at the same time. But I think with enough practice, we can make it. me make something more stream right now. Select this section and copy and paste. Let me see if I can pull it off. This, this. So right now I'm trying to select the geometry and do copy and pasting, but one of the things that came with the latest update of Houdini is a couple of, among the good things, a couple of bugs uh, in the modeling department. So okay, actually that wasn't really a bug, just needed to delete the history, or I should say freeze the transformation of the object. And now I should be able to copy and paste and it will be in the same location. Yeah. But what is a bug is that you wouldn't lose the selection if you did that. So yeah, it's you will have now you have to do two operations, at least for now, because they are improving. They are fixing the mistakes. So I like to set up the cameras like this sometimes. It's easier to select. If I wanted to, for example, quickly take these two shapes and subtract them against this one, there is no direct way to do that, but there is a way to. Okay, well, let me try something first. Maybe this is gonna work, just in case. Okay, maybe something is happening. Let me see if we can figure this out. If not, I will show you. I will show you guys a trick. Okay, so let me do. I will be extract. Extract. Doesn't seem like it's doing what I want it to. Okay, yeah, definitely. If I try to subtract it like this, maybe one. No, I don't think it works with only objects. I mean, with only inside one single objects, I don't think it work if you just select the polygons. Let me read for a second. That could also help, obviously. Okay, definitely says something about faces, so it should work, and it actually it's doing the yeah. So maybe we just need to do a better job here. Okay. Think somehow it's getting confused, but let me just try the trick that I mentioned. So what I do is I subtract the objects and then I just select the two objects and do a subtraction like that. And of course we get that issue. And I think I now know the root of everything. I needed to use surface instead of a solid because the base head is whole. I mean, it's not whole. Uh, yeah, it doesn't have thickness. So something like this. Now I can push it in. Doesn't make much sense still, but let's see if we can improve it. Hmm. Trying to find a command for triangulation, but I don't think there is one. So we can choose triangulate, and obviously we're gonna make this pretty later. I'm just wondering why this is detached. So maybe we can just fuse these shapes instead of doing triangulation. Okay, maybe that was what we needed, definitely. I think I'm gonna leave this detail for later. Not too convinced right now. This is the one good thing about using notes. Okay, so let's get to this section. Here's another tool that I like. So instead of transforming it like this, we could just use a pick. The good thing is that it works like a modifier. So if I press Y and just push it, it's faster that way. So maybe it's a good time to test the tweak mode. So I'm gonna go use the tweak mode, and after I select this guy, okay. So if it's only, yeah, it's only moving in only these two axes. So yeah, that's really nice. Wanna try to use that more and more. Like for example, right now again and again. After I'm done blocking out the silhouette, one of my plans are to just intersect all the geometry and like boolean the whole thing together, and then fix the fix the geometry, and then start adding the sub D details. But yeah, I have never been uh, like super fast when doing block out. Okay, let me hide everything and just want to try filling up this object. I can just do this. Let's close it like that for now. So the shortcut for isolation is I. Wait a minute. Okay. Maybe I can take this guy and oops. Okay. Was having trouble making that selection work, but sometimes when modeler's on, you need to go back and forward for it to recognize that button. There is another way of working like minimally. Instead of toggling everything off, what you could do is that you go here and select mini UI, and now we should have the options for the selections right here. I think that's better considering that I have been having trouble like toggling on and off. Okay, maybe let's not add that detail yet. Maybe we have too much geometry for a blockout, and I'm missing something here. Maybe we can choose, press I, select, get rid of this and this, select these two, move it down, see what happens, bit better. One thing that I didn't like is that I lose the selection. Looks like a capybara right now. Some little tools for separating shapes, and it's called detach. Wait, me. Okay, I forgot what it was. It should be around here. Just notice that I lost this window right now. Let me see if I can. Okay. Funny, I wasn't using it. I wasn't even using the parameters panel. Just goes to show how much modeler streamline the process. I think it's better to just use the Extrude Pro in this case. Or well, we don't have a single shape, so maybe let me just go back. Maybe we can try the Extrude Pro approach later. Hmm. Hey, what happened there? Let me see. Something brown came out in the other side, but let's see what's up. I think I can, if I go for clip, or we can just get rid of this guy, I believe. Hmm. Let me see if we can fix this. Let's bring up the nodes. I think I lost the other panel. So for now, let me see if I can bring it up or not. But I think I found the issue. Okay. It was a symmetry node that was misbehaving. Okay, maybe it seems like turning it on and off did the trick instead of deleting it. So that's even better. And I do think that I know what happened with this panel, and it was that I was in full screen. If you go to if you select Control V, if you press Control B, it will maximize the panel. So that's why I didn't have the toggle that it will normally show. Okay. So maybe let me just select the whole thing and redo the normals, not just that one piece. And the node was right here. Let me just combine all the shapes together. Now we isolate and I push this one up with the pick command. Press Y again to, or without anything selected, to make everything show up. Let me see what happens if I just get rid of that section, but I think it's too, maybe we need to angle it a little bit more. Let me flatten. It's actually really flat on this side. Hmm. So I will just extract the shape because I want to, just not too happy with this one right now. So just change the color. Maybe that's gonna help. Maybe not. Okay, so I always get confused with isolate and hide everything else. So if you see me click that and nothing happens, it's because I want to do the opposite, the the other command. Okay, so maybe I build this guy and now make it flat. Maybe let's work with a lot less geometry for now. So right now I'm just selecting and pressing X for delete and using the pen tool. I'm not, let's see what the auto normals does. Okay, so the normals let you select the cups angle that you want using the parm slider. By the way, parm slider is just pressing C, the C key, and then sliding with the mouse. And this one, the auto normals. Okay, let's use auto normals for now. See what happens if I use Extrude Pro right now. Looks like it's almost going to work, but not for free. I think it's faster to just clean it up with the pen tool. A tool sometimes doesn't work, but when it does, it's pretty nice. Okay. So if you middle mouse, you only move it in one axis. If you use the right mouse, you move it in two axes. And if you use the left mouse, you move it in screen space. That is the tweak tool. Really nice. It's not easy to get into the habit, but if we do it enough times, it will stick. Select a different color for this one. Maybe we can push all of this in. Oh, wait a second. Let's prepare for to do something like that. This whole thing, and then we slide it. Then select this. And again, one more time. And now we take this and actually be the best way to do something like that. Try to use Extrude Pro. Okay. Does it look good in the first place? Because if not, then there is no point in cleaning it. But I think it does look good. Just need to prepare the mesh a little bit more. So let me do a knife cut here. For the knife cut to work better, you need to deselect everything because if not, it's going to get isolated to the geometry that you have selected. Let me throw a quick fuse just in case. Okay, so let's try that one more time. This time, not with Strut Pro, with just simple Strut. Push this one in. Okay. Let me do all of this. Keep failing at selecting that last one, and I lost. I just lose the selection. Hmm. I don't think the slide likes that angle too much. So maybe let's do it by hand. I think it's an improvement, but not I'm not sure how I felt about that detail. So let's do it like this for now. Let me push it in just a little bit more. Okay, here I think we can do something like this. Reach these two and then fill. That's right. Okay, let's do one more time without. Okay, something's up. See why. Okay, that's better. Definitely it's taking some shape now. But the only problem is I think now it looks too much like a mecha. Okay, so I want to isolate this section, but if I do that, I cannot see anything else, obviously. So maybe what I'm thinking is I'm going to extract this boy, then I'm going to say goes everything else, and now I can see I didn't want to lose that gap. So working in context like this is important. So let's try to keep that feature. Not sure if we're gonna be able to. Maybe we need to. I think I was too aggressive before. Thinking I don't need this section right here, so I might as well just delete it. Okay, let me see why it's not letting me. Okay. Now, if I combine this dude back in, we should get. Yeah, it definitely doesn't look like a giant mecha anymore. Still look a little bit like a mecha, but I think we can work it out. So I think we completely destroyed this one. I think the problem was we added this detail too soon. So let's better not do it for now since we're still working on the main shape. I actually didn't know you could do that. So what I did was selected one edge, press the let me remind myself how that tool is called because I only use the shortcut, never looked at the actual name of the tool. And that one is called extend. This is basically my favorite. So I am extending it, but then I use the snapping with alt and yeah. Okay, I think it's misbehaving again. but luckily we know how to fix it. So let's see if that indeed again works again. So let me just go to the sim instance, turn it on and off, or maybe cut it and paste it again. Oh yeah, that was the solution. So now I hide this again with Control B. Let's push this one out, then down with the tweak tool, middle mouse button. Yeah. Why don't we also change the color? But first, let me see. Okay, I think I like that. This might look really ugly, but let me try adding some cameras, or would be cameras, I should say. So what I want to do is, let's try to put one here first. And let's do a sim instance of this one. Okay. I think it's easier if I go back to the original state. So I deleted an edit node that I placed in accidentally and just entered the Q2 primitive, getting back into the state of the tool. That's what I did. Okay. So I think this might work. Okay, I'm trying to figure out a way to just scale it in 2 axis, but maybe just need to do it like this. Let me see if I can get back to the state. I can. Maybe this is gonna be hard to do, but what I want is to have eyes but not look silly. But it does look silly. Okay, maybe something like this. It's not working, but what if we do a whole stripe? Instead of making it round, let's try to do something like this. Yeah, definitely. That's working better. Okay, so just make it smaller. Now I choose select the whole thing and flatten frontal. Now it looks more like Cyclops, but at least doesn't look silly. So just take a look at the references for a second. that I wasn't sharing the monitor. That's great. Fortunately, I didn't do much. Definitely need to get used to doing that. But yeah, I'm gonna take a short break and be back. Hey, so we're back. Let me see if we can. Let me see if we have sound. Uh, quickly check something out here, just in case switching screens turned off the microphone. Okay, it seems like everything is all right. So this is where we left off, and obviously I made a mistake before taking a break, and that was not showing what I was doing with this piece. So let's quickly go over that. So I'm going to press Control B. It always takes a little while, but okay. Okay, nice. So if we get inside this piece, we can see that we have a lattice, and that is what I was doing. We were doing operations on the mesh before it looked like this, and now it looks a bit angrier now. And actually, I want to redo this operation because I want to work with fewer elements. I think I was using too much geometry. So let's work with a cage that has fewer elements now. Maybe, obviously, let me restart modeler. Okay. Okay. I think it's better if we don't use too much geometry. Seems like it's having some trouble selecting the geometry. Let's see. Can see that maybe it wasn't Twitch the one that was going to give me trouble, but modeler, or let's just say Houdini in general. So I think that what I want to do is just okay. Now I was about to restart, but it seems like it got scared, and now I started working again. So that's good. So I want to make it look a little bit matter. So to do that, we need to make a curve, something like this. You see, it's a slight curve, and also, you know what? Maybe the thing that we can do is a Boolean operation. Okay, now, so I think that it's better if we, and I think I will need notes for this. Okay, let me just come here quickly and just delete the history. Now let me come here and do the same thing. Let's delete the history. Okay, now I want to select this too and select this too and combine. Now, now that I have this, what I want to do is actually maybe making a combination wasn't the best thing, but let's just do it like that, like this for now. Now I want to extract this one because this is the one that I want to do versions of. So we already know that this shape is kind of working. So now, well, let me extract this one as well. Okay, maybe combining everything wasn't the best option. So now we have this one, and the rest of the head. So I wanted to try either these two right here. Let's throw in a color just to differentiate for now. And I also wanted to try maybe doing a Boolean subtract. So let's quickly go over that. So we select this one. Now we select this one. And maybe it's better if we do a symmetry first. So we don't have to select surface. So we symmetrize. Now we symmetrize here as well. We turned off the axis and now click, click, subtract. Okay, I think it's definitely okay. I still need to do the surface thing because okay, let me just figure a few things out here. This one, both are okay. So let's quickly fix that and let's do the same thing for this one. Me maybe hide everything else and let's just quickly bridge connected. Let's do a bridge connected here as well. Uh, and now we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe if we do a grid, it's gonna work. It does. Sweet. Actually, this mesh is not bad at all. So maybe let's extract it for now and okay. Now we do this and it's working. Yay. So one thing that I would like to do now is modify the cutter. So maybe let's template this one and do the modeling operations on this one. Okay, let me see. We need to select component. Okay. Let me do something like this and extrude maybe. Then this and slide. Obviously, something like this, or something like this, and something like this, just to see what happens. Now let's go for the Boolean. Now I think we're back to the head looking like a mecha, but maybe we can throw a few new things. So let me quickly create in context. Let me see how it looks with a few tubes. Okay. Also, oh, okay. Let me just, this is the one that we want to archive. Now I want to come here and let me switch back to this one and then play this one. Creating the primitives in context is definitely more advanced. So I'm having trouble with that right now. Hmm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna come here in the cutter and we're gonna do the lattice thing that we did before. So let me quickly fix this with the field selection, quadrangle grid. Let's forget about this one for now. And me Boolean, this guy. Maybe, maybe just select this guy and go for a lattice. Lattice will be over here, I think, if I can find it. Here. Okay, maybe if I select the whole geometry instead. Yeah, something like that. Auto orient. And let's just work with only 5 will be enough, I think. Okay. And we don't need, let's use the tweak mode. Okay. Select all the points, tweak down, all the points, tweak down, tweak down. Okay. A little bit more, tweak down. Yeah. Now we rewire. I don't think it's looking. I think maybe the cutter is too much. So I might be able to tweak this without breaking the whole thing. So let me just, maybe I can just push it in. Now scale it down and see what's up. Now let's just get rid of this section right here. We could do a fill quadrangle. And this is not a problem with modeler. This is a problem with Houdini 20. As you can see, I cannot select the whole. When I try to select the whole, it just ignores it completely. So what I do in these cases is, just do it like this and P for fill, quadrangle grid, go back to the lattice and let's see what's up. Yes, you can see the holidays are coming early in my neighborhood. So let's get back to the tube thing and see if it's any good. And I much rather just extract the shape and work that way. Uh, okay, where to place cutoff geometry, separate object. And if I do this, we are going to be able to see it. Now I'm curious. Yeah, we lose the the QTube, and it's just a baked mesh now, but it's okay. See if I can align it better, something like that. And hey, give me a moment. Seems like I selected something else. Okay, so let's see how it looks with another one of these. Maybe we can do a uh, symmetry instance and see if it now it's working better now that we have a whole end shape. Maybe using circles is not good. Y for push. Y for push again. Maybe not Y, but let's use tweak mode instead. Tweak mode again. Down. Show all. Let me choose go for black. See how it looks. Tweak mode up. See if I extrude this one. If I bridge these two guys. Switch to component. Now it's looking like an Iron Man, and I don't know how I feel about that because I actually quite like Iron Man. Okay, let's get back a little bit. Some one thing that we can do, and that is we can also select pick color and click. Really nice command actually. Seems like the snapping is off right now. Wonder why. Obviously, once we do a Boolean cut and start making so many operations, the procedural part start to lose meaning. So by that point, what I recommend is forget that it was procedural in the first place. Think that by this point I need to clip on the other side and do a sim instance. Okay. Me work with this thing isolated for now. Let's choose. Let's terminate those two together. Something like that. See if there is anything else we can fix. Guess these two. Okay, maybe it's gonna be harder than that. So just select this one and pen tool here, and let's go up. I don't think we need this one actually. So now let's choose go to component, select. I have failed to mention that the one tool that you see me do to adjust the gizmo all the time is this one right here. It's called Quit Pivot. Amazing tool. Let's just terminate here for now. This one I don't even want to go there. And let's work like that for now. Tweak tool down, tweak tool down. Yeah, tweak tool down again, tweak tool down. Let's see. Can tweak tool left. First, we need to make the rect selection. And thinking on decreasing the size of this. Tweak tool down. And actually, let's move on to axis now. Maybe I don't need this point right here. So to get rid of that one without deleting the edge, what we need to do is, I believe there's a command for that. Let's try. Oh, delete is not helping. Should be the dissolve command. Is collect gonna help us? Or maybe I can just switch it to the pen tool and do that. Yeah, it's way better. Can select this guy and yeah, I think that's it's working in our favor. Let's just snap it like this. Maybe not so short. Maybe I'm thinking if I can. Okay, let me see. It's going to let me select and try to do a cue box. Obviously, this is a new object. I mean, or is it? No, it's not. So let's quickly fix that and create an object level, another cue box. At first, I thought it was a new object, but when I saw that the symmetry was already working, I figured it wasn't the case. Okay, I think I made a mistake because I cannot see the head anymore. Okay, no, it wasn't a mistake. It was just that suddenly I forgot about the visibility. I don't think this one shape is working. Okay, that's better. Okay, maybe if we fuse all of this together. So we just execute the command and then do, maybe I can do the same here. So I press G to repeat, C, that would be parent slider, and then I drag. Actually, I shouldn't worry too much about the feeling. Okay. Maybe I can push it out, and then again, I can, maybe not. Okay, tweak mode, and I move it to the left. Maybe some more. Okay. So it's like I'm always having trouble with this piece. I think the termination that I told you guys that didn't want it to deal with, I think now we need it. So I'm gonna take it from there and just move it up. Now I can push this one out with pick to round this edge a little bit more, and I can tweak mode one axis, light it up, then okay. I mean it's not super perfect, but we're getting there. Okay, instead of moving that section down, I can just move this one up. Yeah, maybe we can run that edge through the whole head, so it's not as awkward anymore. Do this. Okay, we can fix this one real quick. Let's just do some auto normals real quick. I think this one needs some improvement. Yeah, maybe we can, instead of doing auto normals, we can delete the normals altogether. And when you don't have normals, actually the shortcuts for smoothing work better. Sometimes I like, right now we're not doing a subdiff yet, but I like to do it just to check out that we have a whole piece. Because when we have points that are not connected, when you subdivide, you can see it. You can see it really clearly. Okay, maybe just do this. And obviously looks a lot like Iron Man right now, but I think we don't need to see the notes anymore. Meanwhile, let me check real quickly something up. So let's bring back this window. I never really deleted it. Maybe let's try, just quickly try something here. Forgot that I need to restart modeler whenever I do that. So let's just do an extrusion. Then I select the edge and slide it in. This one. Yeah, I think we are having some trouble because I cannot control C. I think it's a good opportunity to maybe restart Houdini, or let's see if I restart Modeler is enough. No, not working. Yeah, sometimes you need to restart Houdini. Um, so let's just do that. Although, actually, it's a bit late, so I think I'm gonna leave that here for today. just do some final tweakings. Tweak tool, and let's move it to axis. Yeah, I just forgot that I don't have Control C right now. So yeah, I mean, it definitely is an interesting shape. I don't think it's final yet, but I definitely want to push it a little bit to the humanoid side.